The Edmonton Oilers are on the brink of elimination. The bottom six has yet to really do anything in this series. The special teams has been a disappointment all series long. The Oilers have no answers for Sam Bennet and 37-year-old Brad Marchand. Connor McDavid has been pretty human for the last 3 games. But out of all the things you can look at or ask heading into Game 6, it is the same thing that has been the main topic of conversation all season long. What do you do with the goaltending? What is up, guys? So much to discuss in today's video. Everything I just mentioned, I will be sharing my thoughts on, but the biggest take of this video will be discussing the Oilers goaltending heading into Game 6. And yes, I was in Rogers Place for Game 5. Stay till the end of this video because I want to tell you guys what the whole experience was like. Yeah, so how's it going, guys? I'm YouTube Trev. Thanks for clicking on the video. This is above average, and yeah, really appreciate all the continued support. You guys absolutely crushed it in the last video, and it's been awesome. The support all playoffs long. You guys have, I've gotten over 600 subs, which has just been amazing. We reached 6,000 subs not too long ago, so we're on the road to 7K. If you could help me reach that, that would be awesome. But with all that out of the way, make sure you drop a comment because that is the sponsored segment of this video, brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca. The most liked comment in my previous video will get highlighted in this video. So if you want to be funny, if you drop a comment down below. I interact with every single one. If you don't believe me, just give it a go. And yeah, you might get a shout out at the end of this video. So drop a comment down below. Yeah, let's get right back into this video. Okay, depth scoring. Where has it gone? I know going into this playoffs, all playoffs, really, it was so fun to watch if you're an Oilers fan because you've got the Connor Browns of the world, Trent Frederick, he chipped in there, Vasily Podkolzin, Adam Henrique. I mean, Victor Arvidsson was stepping up. Matthias Janmark was stepping up. The Oilers' depth scoring was really starting to be prevalent, and it was awesome. And it was completely different from years prior. And so a lot of people are beginning to ask, oh, wow, this Oilers team is a little different. They're really good. Until they head into the final when it matters most, everyone, and I mean pretty well everyone, has kind of just disappeared. Looking at the bottom 6, looking at the whole lineup, you're not getting any offensive contributions really through anyone, and if you are, it's small glimpses. And so obviously the Oilers have to tighten that up. They have to fix it, and I think it's just credit to the Florida Panthers. I like the Oilers' chances heading into the series. I was pretty adamant about losing Zach Hyman, and I was pretty ticked about it, but a lot of people were like, no, it's Zach Hyman. You're going to be fine. Corey Perry is the exact same player. I had people comment on the channel that, and I'm sorry, Corey Perry was once, kind of similar to Hyman. He's no way the player that Zach Hyman is right now. So I really think you're starting to see that scoring depth, and I mean, it's obvious. It came in, and it hasn't been anywhere all series long. You got a little bit from Vasily Podkolzin, Victor Arvidsson scored once, but it's been tough to watch. You have no answers, as I said earlier, to Sam Bennet and Brad Marchand, who are big name players, and they are absolutely showing out right now for the Panthers. It's been crazy to watch. Sam Bennet, he set a road record in this year's playoffs with what is it? I'll look at the goals now. I think it's 14 road goals he's got so far in the playoffs. And then you got Brad Marchand. Hey, he does this to my favorite player, Jake Wallman. Thanks for coming out. Good night, Jim Kite. So that's not good. That's not good. A lot of things need to change, and I'm still optimistic. I really am, because this Oilers team does, when their back's against the wall, I sound like a broken record, but everyone's saying it. They're saying it because it's true. When this team is, they do really good against pressure. That's why they're able to get so many comeback victories. That's why they were able to, get a comeback victory in Game 1 against the Florida Panthers, which, broke a 32-game streak, a Paul Maurice streak heading into the third period. The Oilers snapped that. Not only did they snap that once, they snapped it twice, and they broke history in doing it, kind of. They matched history with the last win that they had. That hadn't been done in almost, or was it over? It was over 100 years. Are you kidding me? So, god damn it, I'm getting to, my hands are all over the place. So when I look at it like that, if anyone is going to do it, it is this Oilers team. But you need everyone stepping in, and you need some players not named Connor McDavid in 29 stepping up. Oh, and you know what? while you're at it, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, if you wouldn't mind stepping up a little bit more, that would be great. In particular, Connor McDavid, because as I had mentioned, and I'm kind of rambling, I'm going all over, but it's the honest to God truth. You've got Connor McDavid. I said on air at my work, if you want to check it out, Edmonton Sports Talk, I'll put a link in the description. We had Craig Button on today, and I'll get to that a little bit later, but I said going into this series, this final, that Connor McDavid would play some of the best hockey, not only for himself, but that we would ever see from a player in NHL history. I honestly thought this was going to be, in 20 years' time, we were going to be talking about Connor McDavid in the 2025 finals against the Florida Panthers, some of the best hockey ever. I dreamt it. I thought that was going to be the case. And it hasn't. Games 1 and 2, he was looking really good, 5 points. Since then, nothing. I mean, he finally scored in a game that I was at, which was awesome. But in the last freaking 10 minutes in the game, you probably weren't going to win. Oh, it's tough. Okay, I need to slow down here. I got written down here, where is Connor? Seriously, yeah, I know it starts like this slow starts that the Oilers have been able to have lately, which isn't good. Who is that? Who is that to blame? Is that Knobloch? Is that the bottom guys? I answer this again at work today. I think it's the big guys. I think it really, really is. Now is the time. You were able to get through 3 rounds with Connor and Leon being pretty good, but I mean, from what we've seen before, they weren't nearly as good as Connor and Leon last year. Connor and Leon the year before that, especially. But now it's the final 2 games of the series. So the 2 games of the season. And who knows? It could be just 1 game. They have to show up. And it's a trickle-down effect. It's contagious. When the Connor Browns and the Matthias Janmarks of the world seeing their leaders doing that, they'll start doing that. And so that was my one gripe about the other night. It was so tough because they really, again, like when Brad Marchand scored the beautiful goal that was the first time that I really saw Connor and Leon and the whole team look like they were in the game, which is ridiculous. Like, that should not be the case when you're on home ice and you have the chance to take a stranglehold on the series. You got to be showing up way earlier, especially because it was at home. So this all comes to my last thing, and maybe I should have started with this. Who starts, Calvin or Stuart Skinner? You know what? Everyone under the sun thought Calvin Pickard was going to be starting in Game 5, and he did, and he lost. And now you're like, okay, crap, who do you go in? Because you were putting in him with 100% expectations of winning that game, and you didn't. And now there's this big question. And not only is there this big question on who's going to start, really the goalie that starts the next game doesn't win the crease. He's not, the coach, Knobloch, is not, okay, you've been playing, it's kind of a toss-up, and you don't really know. And then as a goalie, whether it's Calvin or Stu, you're like, it's going to be Stu. There's no way they go back to Calvin Pickard. It's going to be Stu. And if they do go back to Stu, what's he going to be like? He was like, well, I didn't really win the crease over. The other goalie lost it. So there's that. Goaltending, for a big chunk of this series has not been great. Stewart has been decent at times, but he's also been not decent. So, I mean, like Connor and Leon, whoever's in, you gotta make some saves. You have to, and not just the saves you're expected to make. You gotta probably make at least 2 or 3 grade A saves, and we'll see what happens from there. But I don't know. One thing I do know is this team can bounce back, and they've showed that before. And when they do, they usually really commit to team defense, but they're going to have to. They have no choice. They are going to have to, because right now the Florida Panthers are scoring at an all-time rate. I heard that today in the last, what was it? I'll see if I can find the stat, but they've scored then almost, like the 5th most among teams in NHL history in the playoffs. They've scored the 5th most goals in a playoff, in a postseason, which is just crazy. And I'll see if I can find the stat, but I think it's something like that. So, it's frustrating. So it's going to be interesting who starts. If I were to place a bet on it, I'm almost certain that it's going to be Stuart Skinner. It was interesting, though. We did have Craig Button on our show today. And like I said, I'll put a link in the description. But he said,
Yeah.
I would start Pickard. I'll tell you why.
You would start Pickard.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, I'd like to
interesting.
hear,
Yeah,
I'd like
let's
to hear it
this.
though. Yeah.
he'd go back to Calvin Pickard, which is the first insider that I've really heard to say that. We also had Ryan Rishaug, and he was like guaranteeing that it was going to be Stuart Skinner. So I guess time will tell, but I would be baffled. He is your number one guy. He is the guy, the future of the Oilers. So I guarantee that they're going to go that route, but, drop a comment down below. I'm very curious. What do you guys have to say about that? Or who would you like to start? Do you think Stuart Skinner deserves to start? Do you think Calvin Pickard deserves to start? I'm fascinated, so drop a comment down below. But yeah, with that out of the way, I'm going to quickly get to the sponsored segment of this video, and then after that, I'm going to tell you my thoughts of what it was like being in Rogers Place for Game 5. But the most liked comment in my previous video, which was, the NHL has a serious problem. Not a lot of people agreed with me in that. Actually, a lot of people disagreed with me, and I was getting chirped like crazy in this video. But hey, you know what? That's the way she goes. Sometimes you put an opinion out there, people don't like it, you're going to hear about it, okay? And that is A-okay. But huge shout out to Whodat 3700 at Whodat 3700. He commented, can't help but wonder if the legalization of gambling on sports has anything to do with this sheet shows by the ref. It's the fourth most in history because they didn't call all these ticky-tacky call before in the finals, but didn't call blatant too many men in overtime in game 2. And yeah, I kind of talked about referees and how crappy they've been. I don't necessarily agree with this. Actually, I don't agree with this, but hey, thanks for the comment, and it looks like 54 people agreed with you, maybe. So yeah, there you go. Huge shout out to Whodat, and thank you for commenting on the video. But yeah, what was it? Oh, okay. So first off, I should have said this at the beginning of this video, but huge shout out to the Pops. Yep, my dad, good old Jason. Yeah, shout out Jason. Shout out Dad. It was also Father's Day yesterday. So Dad, this was just truly the coolest experience, one of them for sure in my life. It was so cool. It really, really was. This whole weekend was just amazing. It's too bad they couldn't get the win. Obviously, that's what we were going for. But, win or lose, the whole weekend as a whole was a win, and just being able to spend that time with my dad and brother is something I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. It's not even close. It was so cool just being part of the atmosphere and seeing, he's a small town guy. Well, not really. He was born in a small town, but he's living in the city now, but nothing like Edmonton. And so just seeing him take it all in, he was like, oh, wow. And then just even after the game, just how cool it was. Even though they lost, it was crazy. It was a party outside. It really, really was. And just the people, it was so cool. Seeing his reaction in Ice District was awesome. And then, being in Ford Hall, grabbing some brewskis before the game, I went live. It was really, really cool. I know my brother and I were, so thankful for the opportunity, and we had a grand old time. Yeah, it was just such an unreal experience, even though they lost. I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunity. So to Dad, thank you. Mwah. It was freaking dope. And here's hoping one day I'll be able to treat you to a game, and even my bro maybe. But yeah, all in all, it was awesome. The atmosphere, just being in there. Hopefully I'll be covering some games, get a media pass within the next 2-3 years. Hopefully even sooner maybe. But just being in the building for the national anthem was just everything I dreamt of. How loud it can be, and that's the only thing that, it sucks. It wasn't really the loudest of buildings, I feel like, until the third period when they finally got on the scoreboard. But it was still an unreal atmosphere, and definitely top. Well, it was probably the loudest building I've ever been in my life, despite losing and despite not scoring the first goal until the third period. Oh, I just goosebumps. Thanks for all the continued support, guys. This could be the last video. Oh, I might be doing this. I might be going live. So if you've stayed till the end of this video for tomorrow's game, I don't know. I figured I'd do something different. Could be the last game of the year. I might go live and see how it is. Maybe something I'll do going forward, depending how it goes. But I think I'm going to go live for tomorrow's game. So tune in at Above Average. You can check. You'll get a notification if you want to put the bell on. You'll get notified that I'm live. And yeah, might have some fun with it. Going to crack some brewskis, and we'll just enjoy the game. And here's hoping it's another win. But if not, yeah, tune in for sure. So that's all I got, guys. Thanks for all the continued support. I'll see you in the next one or tomorrow night live. Appreciate everything, guys. You've been awesome. This whole playoff run has been great. If this is the last video I upload, yeah, thanks for everything. It was such a great run we had, and here's hoping they can force it to Game 7 on Friday night, baby. Right in oil country, right in Alberta. Let's go. Bring them back home to Alberta. So take her easy. I'll see you in the next one. Don't be average when you can be above average. Peace.
Average. Today we have my son and my other son. We're going to talk about today's game before we head to the game.
God. I don't think I could ever be a vlogger. Yo, what's up? Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Are you excited for the game tonight?
I'm so excited. I can't even believe we're going to the game with my boys. Like, it's going to be so awesome. It's 18,000 plus fans screaming, yelling. I can't believe it. I'm predicting McDavid's going to get a hat trick today.
Oh, snap. Okay. I like it. I like it. Let's go, baby.